Good morning, everybody. This is Yin Yang with Morsels of a Thought number 1098. I am actually currently trying to stream it on StreamYard, and it's a very new experiment for me. Anyway, today is TR Thursday. It is the Rules Day by Fein and Sherrie Schneider. Fein and Sherrie Schneider wrote a series of books, and they are mavens of the rules for dating. Um, the first book they wrote had created a revolution, and then they wrote a second book. And there's something in here that I'm going to go into today. And then, after many trials and true tests of good morning, John Clark. I'm on my YouTube channel at the moment as well. I finally got StreamYard to kind of do some of it. Anyway, Elephant and Sherrie Schneider, totally. Ele- um, I, 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 I want to say something in Spanish. Anyway, so day 60 in the rules handbook, we're navigating new relationships. That's course 2, and we're in week 1 of course 2. Be clear about what you want. That's the first week. And right now we're on day 60, and I'll read day 61 for tomorrow. Today, day 60, the rules are not just about getting any date. They're about getting a person with a respectable character who will make a faithful boyfriend and future partner. Love may be blind, but rules girls are not. So pay attention to your date's behavior. Are they rude to the waiter? Do they stare at the waitress? Do they drink too much? Do they seem annoyed that they drove to your area? Do they get angry easily? What you see is what you get. We call these dates buyer beware. If your date is not kind, thoughtful, well-mannered when they're courting you, then it will only get worse when you're married. Develop clear dating filters. Okay, that sums up my entire life for the last 10 years. Um, Developing clear dating filters using the rules. Now, in chapter 17 of their second book, which is also in all the rules, when you buy all the rules, this is the second half of that book. This is a second book. Um, they say, and where's my bookmark? No bookmark today. Um, Buyer beware, weeding out Mr. Wrong is chapter 17. The rules are not about marrying. I'll just read the first sentence of every paragraph in the first paragraph. The rules are not about marrying the first man you are attracted to who calls you by Wednesday for Saturday night and buys you flowers. It's about marrying your own personal Mr. Right, a man whom you love and whose character you admire and can live with. Love may be blind, but rules girls are not stupid. Last sentence of that paragraph. If either of you has been married before, how does he treat his children or your children? It's easy to ignore certain behavior, but if it's written down in black and white, you will see a pattern emerge and not be able to lie to yourself or sweep it under the rug. Don't marry thinking you will change this kind of behavior. People don't usually change that much. We believe that anything you don't like about the man you marry was there when you were dating him. You just didn't really think about it seriously or told yourself you didn't mind. A woman we know who followed the rules called us one day to say Mr. Right had proposed. We were thrilled, but we quickly got suspicious when she told us that 6 months had passed and he still hadn't committed to a wedding date. She too felt something was wrong, but she really wanted to marry this man. We advised her to try to pin him down to a date. When she did, he admitted that he was back with his ex-girlfriend. If something doesn't feel right to you about a man, it probably isn't. Rules girls don't sleep at the wheel. No, rules girls take a very active role in choosing Mr. Right. Did he remember her birthday? A rules girl is always carefully observing his behavior and taking notes. This is active, not passive dating. When we told you to be quiet and mysterious, act ladylike, and cross your legs and smile and don't talk so much on the first few dates, we did not mean that you shouldn't think. We told you this for two reasons. A, so you don't tell him your whole life story too soon and live to regret it. And equally important, B, so you listen. The less you talk, the more you can hear and pick up clues if he's right for you. Okay, let's look at some specific dilemmas you might be facing. Dilemma number one, you're amazed and impressed by his sophistication with alcohol. But after reading this chapter, you remember that most of the time you had mineral water and he gladly drank the whole bottle. Buyer beware. Love won't change an addiction, and heavy drinking isn't charming when you have kids to support and he's throwing money away at bars, or you are the designated driver after every party. Um, if you think he drinks too much, don't marry him unless he agrees to seek help and has stopped drinking for at least a year. It's good for him and it's good for you. Dilemma number two, you think you found Mr. Right, except that he'd rather read the newspaper or work on the computer than have sex with you most weeknights and even Sunday mornings. Now that you're reading this chapter, you remember that he was always a little too intellectual for your taste. You wished he were more passionate, not so cerebral. Buyer beware. This will be a problem in your marriage if sex and passion are important to you. Dilemma number three. He's very good looking, personable, and a ton of fun, but not as deep as you would like him to be. And then you want to have soulful discussions, and he's more pragmatic. Buyer beware. This will be a problem if you like to have philosophical conversations with your mate. Just know that he may ask you to have breakfast with him or play tennis when you're in the middle of yoga or meditating. Dilemma number four. He's into a whirlwind courtship. Buyer beware. If you allow yourself to get caught up in a whirlwind romance and move at his speed, you may live to regret it. You need to pace the relationship to wait and allow yourself time to observe his behavior in many different situations before you make such a serious commitment. Otherwise, you may find out after you're married that he's a womanizer, gambler, emotionally immature, in deep financial debt, or has a criminal past. By then, it might be too late. Okay, so there's dilemma number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. And so while you're doing the rules, you should also be observing, writing, and thinking. Is he the right one for me? Take an active role. Your long-term happiness is definitely worth the work. So journaling in the rules is the biggest. There is a journal available, the rules journal, and in it are questions and little spots to write down certain things about your date. And also you can write down every time you go out who did what. Especially before you even go out, you can start journaling him. Who spoke to whom first? What did you talk about? How long did you talk? Did I end the meeting first? That stuff. So anyway, then I'm going to read you tomorrow. For tomorrow, what you want to do is day 61, Daddy's Girl. Day 61, Daddy's Girl. Maybe you are or were Daddy's Girl. This is a wonderful thing, as who doesn't want a kind and loving father? The downside is that you might think that all men are nice and you can say or do anything you want and not get hurt, including calling men, asking them out, and being vulnerable, open, and honest. The fact is, men can be selfish and not emotionally attached even after they sleep with you. They have no problem never calling again, can break up with you for no good reason and by text no less, or can date you for 5 years and never propose. Whether your father is the salt of the earth or not, you still have to do the rules to ensure you will find a man who falls madly and hopelessly in love with you and doesn't hurt you. So, yes, I had a father figure in my life too, and I was the kid that had him wrapped around my little finger. I would just like this, and he'd pick me up and take me everywhere. I'd point this way and that way, and he'd walk me over wherever as though I couldn't go there myself. It was a lot of fun. But when I vetted men, I didn't have the rules when I first started dating, and I vetted men very poorly because I vetted them without my father figure in mind, and I vetted them like they could abuse me almost, verbally. And I took a lot of that. I even had one man mug me. I mean, not mug me, but he robbed me blind of a few things. You know who you are, Hubert. Um, and I had some precious things, and they were gone when he was there and left. So you don't want to do that. Definitely. You use the rules. You will find out that if you see somebody that's not for you and not fit, you'll go, next. So, okay, I will talk to you later. Have a great day, old Kinderhook. Bye.